Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video by me. I'm Original Canis and this is some FIFA 14 gameplay. Yes, I bought the early release. I believe it was worth it, and so therefore I'm going to be bringing you guys a manager mode series, and on this series we're going to be choosing Yeovil Town. Now why? You ask, because Yeovil Town are my local team, I suppose you could guess. They're 40 minutes away, whereas, you know, kind of that's where I'm living now, and I used to live pretty much 5 minutes down the road. So there you go, that's why I chose them, and also I do support Yeovil as well. So Yeovil Town is the choice for this manager mode. Going ahead, putting on the settings, I'm taking a risk here, putting world class on. I hadn't, when this gameplay was recorded, I hadn't played any matches at all on FIFA 14 single player, only online, so I kind of had a little bit of a grasp on how the game would play, but not fully. You know, sometimes like on FIFA 13 I was playing on legendary, and you know, when you start the new game you always kind of take it a notch or two down just so you can get used to the physics and how the game plays before you then put them the difficulty back up. That's the word I was looking for. And for my name, some YouTubers decide to use their YouTube name, however I just go with my real life name, Kane McGuinness, the one and only. And as you see there, Yeovil Town appoint McGuinness as new boss. That is right. I wonder if in real life there would ever actually be a chance for kind of unproven young manager to ever take hold of or take the management of a club such as Yeovil or another club in the Championship, or even in any of the football leagues, whether it's League 1, League 2. Do you guys think that could ever happen? That would be amazing to see, just to see, you know, what chance they had, and if they were actually able to pull it off. I think that would be great to see. As you see there, FC Bayern complete signing of Mario Götze signing. That's obviously a real life transfer, and it's kind of nice to see that FIFA are putting little things like that in. You know, sometimes in FIFA 13 last season, in the similar screen it would show you while loading up, it would be like this player that doesn't have a face, so it would be that black silhouette and then some ridiculous name, and it would just be completely unrealistic. However, this year they've made it far better, and I have to say this user interface is AA9 Skills said it was a little bit like Ultimate Team. I can see the comparison. Yes, it looks very nice and slick, but I think it's all just a bit too confusing at the moment. Everything's kind of all over the place. There's loads of squares that lead to different things everywhere, and it's kind of confusing for me at the moment, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. And when I actually first started playing manager mode on my own personal career mode, which you saw was a Liverpool one a couple of seconds ago, I really did not like manager mode at all, and that's because this whole new scouting thing that EA are shouting about is really, I don't know, it's just kind of that really. It's a bit, you know, you either love it or you hate it. Now I can already feel it kind of growing on me, but I can definitely see some massive flaws in it. In that, you know, it's great if you're looking for young talent to bring up through, or you're looking for these players that you've never heard of, or, you know, things like that that are going to be great additions to your squad, are going to grow on to be great players. However, when you're looking to buy, you know, your Xabi Alonso's, your Christian Eriksen's, your companies and all that, the kind of search settings that you have to put in show you all of the centre-backs. So as well as if you put in, I don't know, the centre-back for Premier League, you know, you're looking to see, you know, the best players at the top there, so your Aga, Ferdinand, Vidic, company, all at the top, whereas, you know, you're getting the reserve players also that are also at the top, just because the overalls aren't there. So if you didn't know, EA have taken out the overalls when you look on the transfer market, so we can see as their age, their position and their name, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass, because when you're looking to sign the best top players, it's really hard. And also, you know, when you press in the right analog or the right mushroom, whatever, you know, whether you play PS3 or Xbox, it's really annoying because sometimes they don't show you the stats but instead just tick boxes. I find that really confusing. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but those are my thoughts on it at the moment. As you see, that's our team at the moment, the starting off Yeovil squad. Of course, it's not going to be, you know, title contender for Championship, as seen as Yeovil were a low budget team in League 1, let alone in the Championship, but nevertheless we have managed to you know, seal the signature of players like Hennessy, Luke Ayling, Paddy Madden, who of course scored that amazing goal in the 3rd minute while at the playoffs for the Championship, which I was there for at Wembley. It was absolutely insane. And as you can see here, just as I was talking about the scouting, this is exactly what I was. This is exactly what it is. You kind of choose the age, the position, and yeah, I guess you can go on a transfer market yourself and look, but it's just not the same as it was last year, and it's not as simple. Which can either, you can look at it both ways. It can either be really realistic, or it can be just a pain in the ass. And I think that's the kind of dilemma that you guys are going to find. So you can see the first player that I started looking for was an attacker. You know, we've got Hater and Madden and Go and Hoskins, I believe his name is, not 100% sure. But you know what, I wanted that nice little pacey attacker that I could bring on off the subs bench. You know, if I'm 1-0 down or if it's a draw, I could bring him on to seal the match for me. And I decided to go and look into the English region for this. You know, I wanted this young English talent that I'd be able to sell on for a lot of money in the future. As well as England, I also chose France because I don't know why, I just felt it. I felt it was more realistic. And we go ahead here and sign the signature of Jamie Patterson on a season-long loan. You know, I thought at 21 as a left mid, he was the alternative as well, Josh Murphy from Norwich. But I felt Patterson had the better stats and had the most potential to be a star in the Yeovil team. Now, this is the return from the scouting report that I had for France. These are all strikers, you know, a couple of them quite nice. I see that 19-year-old there. However, you know, on FIFA 13, if that was a 19-year-old and his overall was like 67 or something, I'd be like, yes, I want to sign him up. However, this year, you can't tell if his overall is 71, which means he's going to be a great player, 67, which is, yeah, it's decent, or whether it's like 42 or something. So you're kind of, in my eyes, taking a risk. You know, I haven't really played too far. What you're seeing in this episode is basically what I've played so far. So you never know, if you choose to scout the player, it may show you their overall in the future. But as I said, I haven't got that far. Now, this is the English return in terms of the strikers that were found in England. This Gordon Hutton was kind of a risk. I did inquire about him, as you just saw, and it returns. You'll see later on, perhaps if I included it, that Peterborough. They valued him at 50,000. Now I thought he's a 17-year-old player, and as soon as I searched pacey and dribbler, I thought that this Gordon Hutton would have really good pace and dribbling stats. However, you know, I can't see that, which is, as I'm saying, it's really frustrating. It gives you kind of, as you see there down font, so if some of the players, it gives you a kind of rough estimation between, you know, low balling and high balling, but you know, that's still a guesstimation. And Dominic Pulley on here, we do go to try and sign. However, you know, it says the wage budget, so what I do is I go away and kind of mess about with my transfer budget, and I go ahead and make exactly the same deal, which you guys don't see because I forgot to record it. My bad. And here's that Janelle Gordon Hutton, question mark over the overall, and as you see there, his value is 50,000, which is what Peterborough are asking for. Now, a 17-year-old striker, I thought, you know what, he could grow out of Yeovil as we go through the leagues, and he could be a great player, but you guys will see later on in the series whether I do go on to sign him. Our first friendly here is against someone, and I'm guessing they're from the Russian or Ukrainian league. The team that I went for with this team was very much the strongest 11. I wanted to see how they played together and if I can make any changes to this first team. Josh Edwards, Luke Ayling and Jamie Patterson, I was really kind of interested to see how they... Sorry, did I say Josh Edwards? I meant Joe Edwards. Really looking to see how they play on this game, as I saw all of those players as key roles in this team, you know, as well as obviously Paddy Madden and Andy Williams up front. There you go, sorry, my mind's gone blank. And we put together a nice little passing move to start with, and the crosses in this game are so lofted, it's ridiculous. I'm finding it really hard, even if you do tap it, it goes absolutely miles over, which is annoying. But unfortunately, my bad, in the 12th minute we do concede at home to this Russian/Ukrainian side. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name again because I'm just going to get my tongue in a knot. However, we do come back in the second half, as there was not too much action from the first. Unfortunately, we can't find a net there with Ed Upson, I believe it is, and you will see we do come back stronger and better later on in this half. And you know what, guys, I'm sorry, I made the same mistake again. Pass it straight back, thinking it was all clear. Didn't think about it, it was just, you know, natural reaction. And thankfully Hennessy gets down to his right hand side to push that shot over the bar, and here comes the corner, which was resulting from that. Now, luckily we've got some very tall centre backs such as Webster, and I'm also going to be looking to sign Dan Byrne, who was a Yeovil player last season, originally from Fulham, and now plays for Birmingham. And he's going to be an addition that I look to make. Now, Andy Williams picks up the ball and looks to make a break. Unfortunately, his pace wasn't enough to pull away from the defender, and Amishulashvili, I'm guessing his name is the captain for their team, and does not set a very good example at all, picking up the yellow card when we were clear on the break. And once again, we pick up the ball in their half, go to break again with Paddy Madden this time, and once again get pulled back. Now this is very frustrating for me. It happened a couple of times in the game, and thankfully this time they do get punished. The centre back gets a red card, and although it doesn't look very malicious in this replay, it happened a couple of times, and it was beginning to become quite an annoyance. So I'm glad that was the result. And up to now, though, with the free kick, looking at the free kick stats throughout my team, doesn't seem to be too much there that really takes my eye. So I tried a shot with Ed, and unfortunately it just goes over the bar. You know what, that was the first free kick that I've had on FIFA 14, sorry, so I think I can be forgiven for that. However, Grant knocks this hopeful ball up top, and who comes on the end of it? Andy Williams. What a shot, what a goal, and that is definitely pick of the bunch, and I reckon that's going to be contender for goal of the season already. Ball drops just inside their box, and the cleanest of strikes on the half volley sends the ball into the back of the net and sends the teams level. A couple of substitutions coming on. We brought on Rolls and also the ex-Liverpool striker Ngo, who I believe Yeovil have on loan, and Ngo picks up the ball here straight away, and oh, what a shot that would have been. Unfortunately, unlike Andy Williams, he can't find the back of the net with the half volley. However, he does find the woodwork, and the ball is put straight back into the danger zone again. Unfortunately, Paddy Madden, I believe, puts the ball straight over, and I thought, you know what, I think that was the chance to go up in the game. Now, Ngo again picks up the ball, finds Gran, who plays it over to Madden again and just puts the ball wide again. You know what, for such a prolific striker in real life, it's kind of a shame he couldn't find the goal there. However, that's the end of the match. They did have one player sent off, and the final score was 1-1. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll try and get another one out to you for Tuesday or Monday if I can. Please do leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and any suggestions for players would be great. Here are 2 videos you may have missed, and I hope you guys have a great Sunday. This has been our original Canis, guys. I'm out. Bye bye. Bye bye.